Hey everybody, welcome to Hunting the Family Property Part 2. Thank you for tuning in and watching this. I wanted to do a video to kind of explain how we were able to successfully harvest this deer here. Spoiler alert for those of you that are on our Instagram, you guys already knew that it was a success before making this video. If you guys aren't following us on Instagram, go over and check out Richard Creek Outdoors on Instagram and give us a follow, and you'll be able to see a lot of content from past hunts, fishing trips, and follow along on our story during the hunts. So give us a follow, go check it out. And so basically what I want to do here is, we have no film for the success of harvesting this deer because I was working on the property when it happened, and everything happened so fast that I didn't even think about pulling out a camera or anything. My focus was on shooting the deer. And so I figured I'd make a video. I got my pen and piece of paper here. Figured I'd just kind of draw it out for you guys and what happened, what went down. And actually I harvested this deer the day after I videoed my first hunt of the year on the family property, which was part 1 that you guys saw. So the day after is when the buck I was after came cruising through, and we were able to tag out for the year. So pretty exciting. So yeah, so we're gonna get out the pen and paper here and kind of draw and explain what happened, and I hope you guys enjoy this. I know it's a little different, but I think it's still a cool opportunity for you guys to see how it all worked out. Alright guys, so what occurred was I was working, and I'll give you a little layout of the land here. So this is, we'll call this the gravel road that you take down to our driveway. And that comes, basically the driveway goes straight down like this. Okay, so we have a little pump house here, and that's what I was working on. And then the person before we got this property had made some ATV trails, and they just kind of go up, kind of loop around, and then just kind of come back into the driveway, and this trail comes across here and kind of dead ends. And then there's a little trail that ties in by the gate. So what happened was it was lunch break, and I had a camera here and a camera here. And so I was with my brother, and he hasn't shot a deer yet, so I had him carry the gun while we made our rounds. Check this camera. I haven't had anything on it for a couple days, so I opted to move the camera, and so I grabbed it and we walked around here, checked this camera because I wanted to see if that buck had come through the night after our last video. And so that was on a Tuesday, so this was Wednesday. So he hadn't come through yet, so we walked down, and I was gonna set this camera up on a tree up here because I noticed the deer coming through the property, come off through a game trail here, come through, and they seem to be coming, just working this back and forth. Well, the boys decided, Jack and our other employee decided they wanted lunch, so I took the gun and they walked down to the cabin to grab their food, and then I carried up here the camera. And in the process of setting this camera, I get about 6 text messages from my sister and a phone call from my dad saying that the buck was coming down the driveway. So dad dad and my sister were coming down this gravel road, coming to check on progress for the day, and stopped about here, and that buck came and passed right through the gate. So with him coming down the driveway, I staked out right about here. It's probably about 20 yards, and I'm thinking he's just gonna walk right down the driveway. But he ended up coming up this little trail, and I saw him right here at the intersection. And I let him pass through the trees and snuck up this little trail here, stopped him about 40 yards, and boom, game over. So that's kind of how it went down. And like I said, it happened so fast, I didn't have time to grab a camera, anything. I was more focused on filling the freezer. So that's how it went down. That's how we were successful. Well, everybody, so that's kind of the rundown of what happened. I'm super pumped. I was able to shoot my first blacktail. I've shot a mule deer and a whitetail in Washington, but had never gotten a blacktail. And so I'm super excited for the opportunity. It just blows my mind how, you know, if Dad hadn't come down the driveway when he did, he wouldn't have seen the deer to let me know it was coming. We had already made that loop, and so we would have missed that deer by probably 2 minutes. And so, I don't know, it always blows my mind how things come together. And so I'm curious for you guys watching, comment below if you guys have a story like that, or a story of an animal you harvested that it was just crazy how everything lined up just right. And I love listening or reading people's success stories. So please drop a comment below and let us know what your hunting story is. I'd love to hear about it. So, well, that's gonna wrap up hunting the family property for the year. Next week we leave for 6 days to go whitetail hunting, and I get the opportunity to just be the cameraman. We have 3 tags to fill, and so I'm gonna play camp cook, kind of, and be behind the camera, which I'm super excited about. And so stay tuned for that. And like I said in the last video, I will be working on a salmon season wrap-up for you guys. I'll give you a summary from when we fished Brewster Pool, fished the San Juan Islands for kings, and fishing the river for coho, and kind of go through those 3 trips that we took and just kind of break it down. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said earlier, go check out our Instagram, Richard Creek Outdoors. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give us a like, a subscribe. We're gonna have more exciting things coming throughout the new year. And yeah, thank you for following along. Appreciate you guys and the support that you've given us. Thanks.